Good morning and welcome to my channel, Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda. My friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my two dogs, who are hiding in here with me because I've had the aircon on this morning. How are you all in this lovely, lovely weather? It's been absolutely ridiculous. It's starting to really wear on my health, my mental health, my physical health. And I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you out there, but we can't do anything about it, so we have to live with it. I hope you're all finding refuge from it and enjoying the cooler evenings when they get there eventually. I think we're in for another week or so of all this, but that's what it is. We can't do anything about it, so we live with it. Right, I hope you're all safe if you're in other countries, and it's a lot hotter in Europe, so they're having some terrible times down in the south of Europe. So I count us lucky up here. Okay, I'm not doing Christmas in July myself. I'm really enjoying watching a few of you who are doing it. And I'm almost inspired to join in, but I don't really have anything planned anyway for Christmas at the moment. I think everybody I usually make for has been made out for the past few years. So I haven't got anything planned for doing Christmas in July or any other kind of Christmas making at the moment. I'm sure things will creep in, but I am enjoying watching it on YouTube with other makers. If you know of any other makers, I know Rachel, you're doing it. Who else is doing it? I think Dawn is doing Dawn's Days is doing an opening a gift a day. She's been lucky and being gifted a beautiful box of gifts from one of her viewers because she's been very poorly, and it's been fun watching her do that. Excuse me. I think Crafty Clegs Jeanette is starting to do a weekly one. Rachel of Coco's Crafting Table, sorry, something flashed up on my phone then. Rachel of Coco's Crafting Table is doing a weekly one as well, and I think there's a couple of others, but yeah, if you know of anybody, just leave me a comment down below and I'll go and give them a look. So if you see me looking down, it's because I've got my notes down there. I'd hate to leave anything out because I haven't got that much to show you this week, but you may have noticed I am wearing a finish. Yay! This is my Lauro sweater by Mini Me Designs. Her name is Christina Gerlander. Christina T. Gerlander, and that's Mini Me Designs. And I've made this because I wanted to try out Drop Spell. And this is, I'm just going to put the eyes on. This is colour 34 and it's Purple Orchid. There's the composition and the colour. And this was my 7th ball and I just went into it. Very, very little amount. These are 50-gram balls. And that's still 46 grams. So I've only just gone into that little ball of Drops Bell there. There we go. And it made this top for me. I think it finished at about 760 grams. Well, 760 meters. So if I stand up, I can show you. It finishes, my waistband is here and it finishes a couple of inches below. It has got this lovely raglan detail which carries on down the sides, which I thought was lovely. Now I did notice one thing with using this, because it is made out of 53% cotton, 33 viscose and 14 linen, and I did notice every little bump and glitch shows in it. You can see my short rows here, but a lot of it did smooth out on blocking. You see the other short rows there, and that's lifted the back by quite a bit. I tried to keep the change of the ball to the side pieces so that it doesn't show, but I'm over the moon with it. I really do think I'll get a lot of wear out of this. It's softening up as I'm wearing it. It didn't take much blocking and it dried, excuse me, pretty quickly in this nice warm weather. In the sunshine. It's brilliant for blocking and drying clothes, especially those who which fabric's a little bit more time consuming to dry, and cottons and linens are quite difficult to dry, aren't they? And it was quite firm when it came off the blocking mats, but it's softened up beautifully. It has a lovely drape. You've seen how much it's moving on me. So yes, I think I definitely will make more things with the Drop Spell in the future. I used 3.75 millimeter needles for this. I think they recommend 4 for the gauge, to meet the gauge. So I still was getting it a bit too big, and I did start again. I'd done all the way down to just below the split, the divide for the sleeves, and I wasn't happy with it. It was wearing me, not me wearing it. So I undid it all and I started again. This is now the second size, which is supposed to finish at 39¼ inches, and I'm a 40-inch bust now. So I'm pleased with how it fits. It's got a nice bit of movement in it and a nice airiness about it. So this yarn obviously is not what they made the pattern in. I can show you the little picture there. That looks like a I think it's a 4-ply with a fluff, and obviously this isn't. So to get gauge, I went down to a 375. I didn't think going from a 4 to a 375 would make much difference, but it did. and I'm doing the second size, which is finished bust circumference 39.25, but it's fitting me quite amply, I think. So I'm glad I made those adjustments. I'm glad I didn't carry on once I'd got to the divide and I'd gone down about 2 inches. I don't think I would have got much wear out of it at that size. So I'm more than happy with this fit now. It fits my shoulders. I have quite straight square shoulders, and I did wonder whether this kind of raglan would suit me, but it does, so I'm very pleased with it. Well, I think it suits me anyway. You tell me what you think. So this is the Lauro sweater, Lauro sweater. I'll put the details and links below in the description box so you can go and find it yourself if you're interested. Anything else I've done this week isn't a great deal. I did get out my double knit scarf, and I've done that much on it, but it is double knitting. It's a keyhole, a scarf with a needle in it that you go once round and then pass the end through the keyhole there. So I'll move that progress keeper up if I do some more, and I've got a fruit fly in here which is trying to annoy me. But this is double knitting, so you're doing twice as many rows for half as much progress really. And this is done in the Sakimi yarns, 70% natural baby alpaca, 20% silk and 10% cashmere in a DK weight. Sakimi. It's natural fawn colour, and it is so soft. It's beautiful. That is going to be so lovely to have round the neck. So I would like to get that finished this year, but it's a very, very rare pickup. I'm not even picking up the socks really. They're just sitting in their bags. I'm doing a lot of sleeping, and but body is struggling a little bit, but I'm getting there. Okay, the 3-season cardigan I haven't moved on. It's another one that's a little bit too warm to work on, even in a cooler room. And there are other things I'm wanting to get on with a little bit. So that's not gone on back burner, and it's not on Sleeve Island. It's just sitting to one side for a moment while I move other things along a bit, which I'll tell you about in a minute. The thing I've had with that about the colour burgundy, I'll insert a picture here. I found my begonias are just starting to come out, and this flower is definitely burgundy. And I thought, well, you can see the colour difference between that and the burgundy Malabrigo worsted in the sunshine there, and it's quite a difference. So you can see why I think it's not a burgundy, but they class it as a burgundy. I'm so happy with the colour though. It's beautiful. Really, really enjoying it. Beautiful yarn. Really lovely to work with as well. Now, last time I did say to you about the Lorien by Eleanor Mortensen. And was I going to cast it on? Well, seeing as I finished this one, and I seem to enjoy having 2 garments on the go, yes, I did. I'll insert a picture here because my pattern has got the marker on it, so I don't want to disturb where I am with it. Yes, I did cast it on. Now, you may remember I bought this yarn from Bird Street Yarns at Unravel in February. They had the model on a mannequin at the show, and I loved the colours that she was that she had it made in. And the 2 colours are Barricane, which is a dark tealy blue, and Lulworth, which is a beautiful beautiful green. So those are the two colours together. Now my son was born in North Devon in Moorhoe, and that's just above Barricane Beach. We spent a lot of time there when he was small and many holidays afterwards as well. It's one of my favourite beaches because it is quite a tiny little beach and it's just a lovely place to be. So Barricane has lots of memories of my son, and also this is called Lulworth, which is a very famous horseshoe beach down the coast from me, down the bottom of Dorset, just along from Kimmeridge, where my son spent a lot of time surfing, and where that stretch of coast his ashes are. So these two yarns just spoke to me very, very, very much. So yes, I did cast this on, even though I have still got to finish the 3 seasons, but I will get round to that. And what I have so far needs to really go onto stitch stoppers, which I don't have. There's a surprise. Oh, I do have some. Just kidnap these stitch stoppers while I show you, because I still have it on the smaller circumference needle. Good girl, look, using stitch stoppers. And I'm on the, I've just done 3 rounds, 2 rounds, 3 rounds of the colour work. I've just started. You can see that. But look at this beautiful cast on ribbing area. Isn't that lovely? Really enjoyed that, and it was a surprise because you can't actually see it in any of the photographs. I thought it was going to be a provisional or a basic cast on and then you pick up and put rib on, but no, look. I'm hoping that shows nicely. There, that's not bad, is it? It's a bit of an eyelet stitch with passing overs, and it's beautiful. I'm really, really pleased and surprised. And you can see this gorgeous Lulworth colour. As always, it's not showing well. I've got the lights on because I've got the blinds down, but I hope you can see that okay. If you go on Bird Street Yarns, or if you type in Bird Street Yarns Lulworth colour, it'll come up on a Google image search. I think they have it, the shop's not busy at the moment because they've obviously catching up from shows and things. But it's gorgeous, gorgeous colour. And I've just started the colour work. Yeah, I'll put a picture up here and you can just see it starts with the one colour, and they've got the autumn leaf patterns and the colour changes to the opposite way round. So I was a little minx and cast on. I know some of you survive on having 4, 5, 6, 10 whips, 20, 30 whips sometimes, but I start getting a bit itchy when I have more than 4 or 5 projects on the go. Big projects, that is. I don't really, blankets do not count as whips. Blankets aren't part of the whip thing, and I don't actually have any blankets on the go at the moment. Whether that changes or not, I do not know. And socks are a bit ongoing, as are shawls really, but I'm waiting for the Shawl Society 4th shawl, which should be out in 2 weeks' time, I think. So yes, I cast on the Lorien. Yeah, that is the Lorien, because this is the Lauro and that's the Lorien. I've been getting it muddled up, and I've got them in my this Lizzie Sews beautiful bag with moss on she gifted me. I'm so lucky. She's just done another few bags for customers. And I just want to keep this in circulation as much as I can. So, what else has happened? I have had an incoming. I had shown you before this beautiful book I'm going to put the eyes back on so I can actually read a book. This is The Island in the Forest by Lotta, Löthgren and Erika Åberg. And it's a lovely book that is between two women, Swedish women, and their letters backwards and forwards to each other. They both knit and design things, and it's so lovely to look at. The photography in it is stunning. I have a thing about tree roots. Look at that. That trunk and the tree roots are beautiful. There, the photography in it throughout the book is stunning. And the patterns are wonderful too. They're very earthy and they follow the elements. And two of the patterns I really would like to do are the martel, which is a lovely slip over. That one's by Erika Åberg, and the other one is the Briss by Lotta. Now I've got a few vest tops, tank tops made, and I used to love a good waistcoat. Who didn't love a waistcoat? And I thought this is perfect. It scratches my love of waistcoats and is also a vest top too. And it's done in a similar stitch to my Friday slip over. So I've been keeping an eye open for yarns. I have in my want to make notebook several suggestions of yarn that I've worked out that I'd like to try and use, and the ones I had earmarked I was saving to buy for when we go away back to Wales. We're going to stay in Barricane again, and in Llandovery there is Bumblebee Yarns of Llandovery, and she has Helen of Nellie and Eve yarn there, and I've got all the details in my notebook of what the stitch count should be, what type of yarn I need, how many skeins, how many yards, weight, etc, etc, all the things you need to take to a yarn shop or a show. And I have that all ready for when we go away, and I want to visit Bumblebees and have a squish of some yarn there, and hopefully have a look at Helen's yarn. Lovely Helen of Nellie and Eve does natural yarns from her own flock and the flock of her neighbours. She does natural dyeing, and I had my eye on one or two of her colourways, but of course she's done a lot of shows this year, so the colourways are a bit scarce now. Excuse me, I've got fluff on my face. But she did let me know that some more colourways are coming up, and then she dropped a sale and there were two options I had for the Briss vest waistcoat. One was in light grey and the other was in this beautiful black sheep brown, which is Nellie and Eve's 50/50 Dales 4-ply. It's 50% blackface, BFL. I think it's blackface, Lester. You don't have blue faces, do you? And 50% Masham, and it's from in and around Nellie, not far from her. And that is the natural colour of the yarn blended, and it is the most rich colour brown. So when she decided to have a little sale. I thought, well, I can't say I'll wait anymore because the yarn's just going to go. And as her dies and yarn lots are pretty limited numbers, I went and bought 3 of this colour. And I had the little parcel arrive, and I just wanted to sniff the parcel straight away. Even the dogs were interested. It's so lovely. I know BFL softens up beautiful, and I think the Masham will bloom too. So I bought that wanting to make the Brice, and in my other, this Lizzie Sews bag with butterflies this time, not moths, but just as beautiful, and with my little brown moth purse that I made, I went and cast on. Now that was the front there. So between those 2 markers is the back neck, and there's the shoulder shaping, German short rows shoulder shaping, and that's how much I've made so far. So I've got 1 thing that needs finishing and 2 new things cast on, which is very unlike me, but I am so pleased. This is taking no thought whatsoever. Very simple, very lovely yarn to make with. This is the back, obviously, not the front. And I'm very happy. Anyway, so that's one of the projects that I'd like to make from the Island in the Forest book. And I've still got another project to find yarn for, which I still will make a trip to Bumblebee's Llandovery, and hopefully find a project yarn for that one. But now the itch has been scratched by having some of Helen's beautiful yarn, I'm not in too much of a panic about getting that. Thank you, Helen, for fortuitously having a little bit of a sale on too. Yes, Willow says thank you too. I'm not sure what Gwynny's doing, stood there. Getting a bit cool under the draft there. That's nice, isn't it? So I've got, I don't know why I'm showing you that for. I've got that underway, and I've got the beautiful two, I think these are just sock yarns from Bird Street Yarns. Oh, it is 70 merino, 20 yak and 10 nylon. So that's the yak base, which will be nice. And I find wearing 4-ply, even a 4-ply merino, is a fairly warm thing anyway. So even though it's quite thin, it's a lovely weight to wear. So I hope that is everything for this week, and that's enough for you. Just going to have another sip of my coffee. Last week I showed you some of the moths. Thank you so much for everybody liking those a lot. It's just been too hot to do another moth trap. I don't like the thought of them hanging around in the trap for too long. Yeah, we do get up early, extra early when we've done a trap, to make sure they're all released pretty early. If I haven't labelled the other ones, I don't know whether it's best to label them as I go through the video or to do the stills at the end like I did in the other video. If I haven't labelled them, it's probably because you've seen them, or there's dozens of the same kind of moth anyway. I try and label the special ones for you so you can see them. Yes, I will be doing some more in my moth journal eventually. At the moment, the paint's drying faster on my paintbrush than I can actually get it down. I did have a interesting flyby the other day when I was going out, walking down the drive, and this bright red thing flew past me, and I managed to see it stop on one of the high conifers in the garden, and I'll insert the picture here, and it's a Jersey tiger moth, and underneath that beautiful black and white tiger striping, it is brilliant red. So I saw that as it flew past me. It's a fairly new incomer to the UK along the south here. It's only been registered for finds in more common finds recently, in about the past 5 years. It's becoming more of a resident. That's another indicator of climate change for you, isn't it? So I'll try and do another moth trap when the weather breaks. I think we'll see how we go. In the garden, which you will have seen at the beginning, the later summer flowers are starting to come up, but to be honest, everything's looking very heat weary and tired now. Everything's sort of coming out with hope and then just fizzing in this heat. We don't water our garden. We do water a couple of the pots that have got some plants in, and the greenhouse obviously, and a little bit of the vegetables, but even the vegetables are suffering. So everything that you see in the garden is done under its own steam. If it's something that doesn't last long in the garden because it doesn't do the heat, it gets replaced with something that will. We don't waste water on the garden like that. I think this week I'll have shown you some of the apple trees. 2 of the apple trees, the Cox's Orange Pippin and the Bramley. The Bramley recently took a huge amount of cutting back. It was a huge tree, and we literally reduced its top by about 50%. You may see some of the trunks that we cut down because it was just getting so big and out of control, and it took about 3 years to start producing flowers in its sequence again. But we're getting lots of Bramley apples again, which is lovely. And the Cox's apple tree, both these trees and 2 other trees were here when we moved in, and the previous owner had planted them. I'd planted one of them, I think the Bramley, but the Cox's was here when our gardens were part of the old allotments back in 1964 when the house was built. So they're well over 60 years old, and they're still going strong if they're very gnarly and twisty, and they're getting on a bit. But the russet, the Egmont russet, was bought for me when I lost one of my dogs, Ruger. My daughter bought me that tree because he was a right little tea leaf. He would steal any apples he could find and hide them in the house, and then go and have a secret nibble later. So that's called Ruger's rapple tree because he was always stealing the rapples. So that is the dog's apple tree, and it makes the most beautiful apples. So they are russets, which are non-storable, but you bring them in when they're ready, and if you let them sit about a week, they really sweeten up. They're a beautiful apple, but seasonal again, a bit like blood oranges, which were my favourite fruit, and I'm not allowed to have citrus anymore, which is sad. My TKI medicine doesn't work well with citrus. Anyway, we have started eating the figs from the fig tree. 1 or 2 of those are getting nice and ripe, so I try and get them before the wasps do. They go nice with a bit of cheese and a tiny dribble of honey. Lovely. I do like trying to have some of the fruit out the garden. What else? We don't watch football. We don't watch tennis. But I am flying the England flag in support of our national team playing the football. And we keep a sort of a light, gentle tag on what's going on there. So that's been interesting. Though we haven't actually watched a match, we know what the score's been. And the same with tennis. Now this afternoon we may actually watch our young man. Is it Arthur Ferry? I think his name is. I don't know. I haven't been watching, but we may watch him because he's in the semi-finals. But we'll see. See how hot it gets. I hope you're enjoying watching whatever sport you do and your countries have done or are doing well. Excuse me. Other than that, I think I'm just about done waffling away here. That's half an hour of my not much production, but a few cast-ons. Very unlike me. So I am going to get changed into something very much cooler. Though this has been quite pleasant in here. I've got it at 23 in here at the moment, but I have had the aircon on. I think outside it is currently 27 and it's quite early, but we'll see. So I hope you are managing to stay cool or warm if you're from the southern hemisphere. And I hope you stay safe and stay creative in whatever you do. And I will see you all again very soon. Bye.